Hello, today we are going to channel the Arcturians, but we're going to ask them about money, but not in the sense of how to gain abundance and that sort of thing. There's so many videos on that, right? How do you create money? We're talking today about the future. And there's so much talk about future and your finances, right? Get your 401k, get your IRA, plan ahead, save. So we're going to talk about um, what to do about our money. Should we save our money? Should we spend our money? um, and to understand more about that, like what is in our best interest? Is it in our best interest to plan for retirement? I'm actually very curious about this. There's a lot of talk about being responsible and setting aside money, and I'm also curious about tithing a bit too. That's a concept that just came to me. Maybe that my higher self sent that in. That kind of just popped in about tithing. So I'm gonna ask about that because we're hoping we're going to the new earth, right? We're hoping that we're going to the fifth dimension and beyond. Okay? And so do we worry? Well, we don't worry. I know that. But do we plan? Do we plan ahead with our abundance? Is it a good idea for us to set aside money for our future? Or do we spend it now and enjoy it now? And how much do we spend and how much do we save? I don't know. There's probably no real rules. There's no rules ever. Um, let's just see what they have to say about this, okay? We are pleased to receive this question, for it is a valid question in your society. Many of you think about the future and you think about time. You think about illness. You think about getting old and how much time you have left. So, when you think about your future, you need to ask yourself, how are you thinking about your future? Are you thinking about your future in an abundant way, or are you thinking about it in a more limited sense of freedom? You need to think of it more liberally, in that you have all the time necessary, all the time that you want, all the time. And so if you think about it like that, you will have a freedom that others do not have. You will have a communication with yourself that you are abundant. Abundant not just in finances, but also in time and physical health. So work on that as well. Being, being now, and telling yourself that you can be vibrant and you do not have to limit yourself to a certain time limit. Age is not a definement either. Do not define yourself by your age. Define yourself by your energy, by your inspiration, by your freedom. Do not tell yourself that you are old or stagnant or declining. Watch how you think about yourself and think about your future in a more liberal way. That is very important. Now, when it comes to your finances, it is important to set aside some money. It is important to have what many would call a bank account. We do not say that you need to go to the bank, but you need to have a certain income. Do not spend all your money. When you spend all your money, it leads towards panic. it leads towards illness. Illness in the sense of fear. Do not spend all your money. For knowing that you have money, you will gain more. You will gain more, and you will see yourself as abundant. You will see yourself as growing. You will see yourself as changing. It is good to know that you have a nest egg, as they say, that you have that capability. And as you know that you are capable and prosperous, you will see yourself as capable and prosperous. It will affect your life. Do not become only frugal, though. If you become only frugal and see yourself as the one who cannot spend, who never spends, there will not be a flow of energy. You need to flow outwards for it to come back. It needs to become a wave of energy coming and going, flowing back and forth. So there needs to be a balance with the inflow and the outflow. So do that every day to understand that there is a flow of energy. And you can match to that energy. You can match with that energy every day to know that it is coming back to you. And one way to do that is very silly, but you can imagine money flowing down, or imagine gold energy. Gold is very prosperous in the resonance. And you can use certain shapes and symbols to see that you are very prosperous. So money trees, and Buddha, coins, and things like that. Very gold colors as well. But we're here to talk about your finances. We're going to get back to, what about your retirement? What about retirement funds? That is not a bad idea. A retirement fund will help you. It will help you in the sense that you will see yourself as capable. You will see yourself as the one who is capable of taking care of yourself. And it doesn't matter whether you have it or not. This is the same as yes, we would say that your insurance, health insurance, would not be a bad idea either, because then you know that you are taken care of. You do not have to connect with it. You don't have to have it. We are not saying that you need any of these things. But what we're saying is that if you have a fear without it, if you have a fear that something bad may happen, and this makes you feel more secure, and I'm getting the root chakra. So it makes you feel more rooted, more grounded, and taken care of. Do not overindulge. Do not overindulge in anything. Do not overindulge in your prosperity. Do not overindulge in your retirement fund. Do not overindulge, and we mean overindulge in sacrifice. Do not sacrifice your abundance for your future. Do not feel like you have to have a lack now for later. And do not overindulge in your time about it. Do not spend a lot of time thinking about it or being concerned about it. Let go. If it helps you let go, these are tools, these are resources. You can put money aside and then let go. Let it go. And how often you do this is dependent on you. You want to concentrate on the feeling and representation that it gives you. And we want you to understand this does not mean that you will even need it. Okay? You can tell yourself, I do not need it, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it to take care of my personality self, my ego self, the one who has been driven by society. That part of myself needs this. That part of me is not me, but it is a part of me. So I will take care of it. It's like taking care of your inner child. It's like giving it a hug and saying, you know what, we're going to keep each other safe. So that is why it might be necessary. It's never necessary, but it would be helpful. So we would like to take the time to answer Heather's question about how she is doing financially. We would like to say that you are doing not good. You're doing not good because every time you spend, you have a guilt. You have a guilt to tell yourself that you need to take time to not spend. You keep telling yourself you need to take time without spending. And that is the illness. That is the fear that you cannot spend. It is not about liberating yourself so you take time not to spend. It is the opposite. You need to heal by saying that you can spend. And I'm saying, okay, but you told me not to spend on my money. It's not about that either. It's about the flow. Flow with your money, flow with the abundance. Take time to answer this. Tell yourself that you are abundant, you are free, and you will heal. Okay, but they said to save, but now they're telling us to spend, right? Let's just get a sense. How much do you save versus spend, right? Like, just don't go around spending on everything, do we? That's not the point. The point is that you need to spend within yourself. You need to spend with joy. Spend with healing energy. I am abundant. I am free. I am joyful. I am experiencing myself through these items, through these experiences. Become the witness of who and what you are. Become the witness of the source, of your higher self, experiencing yourself. Do not trap yourself within a box, telling yourself that you only have so much to experience. You need to just become the witness. How much do you put aside is dependent on you. How much do you need to set aside for you to not feel constricted, to not feel fear? This is all about fear, and how much money you have depends on how much fear you have. Recognize this. People who are abundant have little fear about money. When you get rid of money, how do you feel? If you didn't have money, how would you feel? See, this is the kicker. This is the understanding. If you feel very fearful, that means you have an attachment to money. And that means you have a lot of fear. So to become more abundant, you need to understand that money is just a tool. And you need to trust that it will be there for you. This is the healing. To understand that money is a resource. And when you understand that it is a resource, you will understand that you are taken care of. And it will lighten up. You need to lighten up about it to know that it is light energy. It is all a game. Become the game. Use the game to your advantage. And that is why we are talking about savings and the IRAs and the Roths and the retirement funds. The retirement funds need to be taken care of too if it gives you a sense of peace. It's all about peace and enjoyment. Okay, yes. So if you say no to something, like I cannot have that water bottle or something like that, I cannot buy that, that would be like a lack for your energy. Yes, buy the energy bottle. Buy the energy. Buy the bottle. Buy the bottle. Okay. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm complicating it a bit. Like, what if you want the chips and you know you shouldn't have the chips, right? Like the chips are not good for you and your health, right? But you want to buy the chips. Like what then, right? It depends. It depends. What feels better, buying the chips or not buying the chips? What is less? What is lack? Healing, it's all about healing. It depends on if you want to eat the chips. If you want to eat the chips, eat the chips. You're becoming very fearful about eating the chips, so then you need to eat the chips. It's all going back to letting go of fear. What is most fearful, eating the chips or not eating the chips? That will depend on your answer. Okay. Okay. So have health insurance. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. Have health insurance if you feel less fearful if you have it. Don't have it if you become fearful of having it. There's a whole story about how I accidentally got Medicaid in the past. It's a whole thing. I never wanted it, and so it's anyways. I felt the fear attached to that. I didn't want to be a part of that, right? But if you had it and then you felt less fear, right? Then have it, right? Because if it gives you security and peace, right? But if you not feeling good about that, then don't. So, yes, totally understand. This is making a lot of sense. And so you might have your higher self, right? It's like, I don't need any type of health insurance, right? But then having health insurance makes you feel more taken care of, secure if anything happens, but liberate yourself so you're not thinking about it. Like, what if I get sick? What if I get ill? What if I have to go to the hospital? No, it's just a letting go. But there's certain like parts of ourselves, like the personality earth self, right? That may need that at this time. They're saying it's a game, but yeah, what is liberating you from fear? So it's all going back to that. Like what is liberating you from the fear? And um okay, and then they were talking about retirement. So get the retirement if it makes you feel more peaceful, right? If a part of you is scared and needs it. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So tithing. Let's just see. Depends too. Okay, and what I mean by tithing too, it's just like it doesn't have to be like you think of tithing like a church, but I actually knew somebody that did a different tithing. Like they would just go out and they would give so much, like as tips or just giving it randomly to people. So just that like giving, right? Giving, um, and giving to people, like maybe in the checkout lane or something, like buying their groceries, right? I'm gonna get that other person's food, just that giving. Actually, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but let's see what they have to say. It makes you feel good, doesn't it? It makes you feel like you have enough. It makes you feel like you are helping someone else. And when you do give, it will return. But you don't do it to return. Yes, you do it for the abundance. I'm abundant. I'm giving from my heart. I'm giving to help. Okay, so I'm just getting confirmation that yes, we would be best to do that then. Um, as long as we're not afraid from it, I would say, right? I'll get a confirmation on that. But if it leads to fear, don't do it. Don't do it if you give, I don't know, $100 away and then you are afraid afterwards because you gave that $100, right? Okay, I just get that's true. That's true. Okay, I like this. So it gives us kind of a guide. Um and this can apply to other things besides money, I'm sure too. Like um I don't know. Like this is silly, but like a toll road pass. Maybe you don't take the toll road, right? But you're like, maybe I will someday. And like you have a part that tells yourself, like, I need that. I need the toll road pass. And if you don't have it, you're like afraid. You have the fear pop up. I'm just getting yes. Yes. I'm understanding. So, if you need something, or I don't know, it can apply to lots of different things, like a streaming service or something. I don't know. Or even the news. I don't like to talk, but the news, like you're so afraid of not knowing, right? That you have to read it. There's no have to. And as I talk about this, I really you might want to actually try to get to the root of this to clear the fear itself, to clear these programs, because it's really programs, really, this running. So, like, you could really clear it all out. That's a good point. So then if you clear it out, would you still save? Would you still get a retirement? God, you don't need it anymore, right? Okay. If you clear out the fear and you clear out the programs, you don't need it anymore. Okay, and I will have to channel about how to deprogram. But one thing I do, this is taking the fear energy, which is programs. So programs, ideas, concepts, okay? That is not in alignment to your higher self, your higher being, the higher dimensions. You start to pull it out of your crown chakra, and you can just push it, pull it. Just start pulling. You could take selenite. I don't have a wand here, but I do have selenite. But you could just um, pull it out with selenite here. You could take, I don't know, tuning forks, put them over your head, kind of, or smudging your head. Like, they lift out through your crown. And you can work with your higher self to, put the violet flame Phoenix fire here around your crown, and start lifting out the programs when you notice that there's fear that pops up, because that's really what it is, just fear, and just that willingness and intent. I release it. I'm willing to release it. I know this is not me. This is not serving me. So that that is what I do, and I do want to see what else they would have to say, because I'm sure there's other ways to deprogram. Journaling, I have journal too. That would be probably a good way too. But yeah, to know how we can deprogram, and it's from my experience, this may take several times too. You might not just, I don't know, pull it out and then it's gone. But it can be like that though. You can just pull it out and it's gone. I've had that too. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I hope it does help you understand a bit about money and security, and security in general. And it can be a guide to know what to choose, what not to choose, and um, yeah, I'm just thinking. I mean, I think it would be a good idea to is so you do have fear about maybe retirement. Maybe people every time you get triggered, somebody talks about retirement, you get triggered. You know, um, get the retirement, but also work at deprogramming as well, so you don't feel that fear and feel like it's necessary. Because if you feel like it's necessary, anything external, um, for you to be you, then you have an attachment. All right. All right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.